Hey, in this video, I'll help you get started with Xenett's AI financial review plan. Whenever you log into Xenett, you will land here on client list. Now, if you are logging in for the very first time in Xenett, then obviously you will not have any clients. So if you wanted to add a client, then simply click here, add client file. Here you select whether you wanted to connect QuickBooks client or Xero client, and then click on the connect button. Now, when you click on connect button, that's going to take you to the respective software website. So if you are clicking on connect to QuickBooks, it's going to take you to the QuickBooks file. And then you will see a list of all the clients that you access in QuickBooks. You can then pick and choose which particular client that you would like to add to Xenett. And when you click on add, that particular client will be added to Xenett. So that is how you can add a client in Xenett. Now, let me show you how you can actually invite users. So if you are an admin user, then you can go to settings and then you will see an option for manage users. And here you can click on add new user and you can invite a new user here. Now there are two types of roles in Xenett. By default, all the users will be created as a staff user. Staff users means they can only see the clients or they can only access the clients that they're assigned to. And if you wanted to give someone an admin permission, then you just have to enable this one. So by default, all the clients that you have added right now, or even in the future that you add, will automatically be assigned to that particular user that you add. So this is how you can invite a new user in Xenett. Now let me take you inside one of the client and show you some of the features. So let's get into this demo company. Default, you land on dashboard, the client dashboard. Now in Xenett, what happens whenever you add a new client, it creates the monthly close automatically for the previous month. So example, if you are adding a client on February 5th, 2026, it would automatically create the monthly close for the previous month. In this example, it would be January 2026. Since this is a demo company, the closes are already created. But if you are doing it for the very first time, that is how you will see that monthly close already created. Now, let me take you inside one of the close. So let's just get into this monthly close now. Now here, let's just understand the main two tabs where you will be working. One is a review points and the second is finances review. Now let's talk about review points. Review points drive your entire close workflow. This indicates different closing tasks which are involved in closing your books. To give you an example, let's talk about entries without name. This indicates all these different transactions that are missing the name. You can assign the name just by simply clicking on the name field, pick the appropriate name, click outside, and that will update your QuickBooks transactions right away. It could be QuickBooks or Xero depending upon whatever accounting system that you connected. So this is how you can fix one by one. But by selecting this checkbox, there will be a bulk action panel coming up from the top that will take you fix multiple transactions in one go. So you could just say, hey, I wanted all these transactions should go to this name, should go to this class, this location. You click on apply, and that is when the changes will be then synced with your accounting system. This is how you will be going through each of these review points, and you will then take appropriate action. In case if you do not know what this each review point means or how it works, we have this learn button when you can put your mouse. It briefly defines what it is. It also has a video link in that, and we also have a detailed article that explains how exactly that review point works. And based on that, you can take appropriate action. Now, as you are going through each of these review point and as you are taking the action, you should change the review point status. So all you have to do is that here from not started, let's just say you're done with it. Let's just say you reclassify all these 10 transactions, done with it. Simply click on completed, and that will be moved from here to eventually here on, right? So that way the goal is like you go through all of those 22 and then eventually you kind of be moving them to all completed. So that is how the review points works. Now let me show you how the finances review works. Here we are pulling balance sheet and profit and loss from QuickBooks, but additionally we are displaying our findings here in this column. These findings are actually coming from the review points tab. So what all we are trying to do here is that while you're looking at each of this account, you should have the appropriate information or relevant information right next to you so that you don't have to jump between different reports. So example, if you are looking at bank accounts, you don't have to separately open your reconciliation reports. If you are looking at account receivable, you don't have to separately open your aging reports. It will be available right here. So example, I can see this bank account is reconciled, but it has got a few unclear transactions. So you click on it and you will have the relevant details right here. Same way, if I'm looking at, let's just say, account receivable, I can see, or even accounts payable. Let me just pick accounts payable. You just click here, and now you have your aging summary, and we have also highlighted all these different issues. So you don't have to go to a separate place to open your aging report as such. Now, depending upon the account type, we will show you the different sort of findings. So this one is intercompany account. Now it says like, hey, your intercompany account does not match. When you click on it, you will have all these details about that intercompany. So all we are trying to do here is that rather than you going to find all of these accounts manually and then finding all these issues, Xenett is going to give you all these findings right next to each account so that you can directly jump on those accounts that require attention. You don't need to spend any time checking the accounts which are already right. Now, as you're going through all of this financial review section and as you're done with your close process, and assuming that you've also gone through all of your review points, imagine you have this progress bar here reached to 100%. You would then come here and change the status, the close status, to completed. And that is how you are telling Xenett that you like finalize this particular month. Now, for whatever reasons, let's just say you were not able to close it, like maybe you were waiting on some feedback from your client, you can change the close status accordingly. Now, the idea behind this status is that when you are at the firm level and when you are in the close module, this is where you can see the close from all the different clients, and you can then see like which client's close stands where, and you can see the exit status of each client. All right, so I just explained how the close process works in Xenett, but I would like to now talk about some of the additional features that we have. So let me take you inside the same close again. Now here, in case if you, let's just say, see some review points which are not applicable, that you don't want it, you can select that review point and then click on these three dots and then you can delete it from here. Same way, in case if you would like to add more review point, you can do it from here. Click on new, click on review point and just typing. So here you could just say entries without. Now as you type, you will see a drop down coming up that will show you Xenett's all default review points. It would not show you the review points which are already added, but if there are review points which are not added, you will be able to pick from here. Now let's just say there is a review point which that you want, it's not there. You can also create your own custom review point. So let me give an example. Say you wanted to find out all these entries without attachment which are more than 5K, right? So you just type in, click on custom review point. That will allow you to pick different parameters where you could just say, hey, I wanted to find out all the bills or cash expense or check that that are more than $5,000 and then missing the attachment. And that is how you can also create your own custom review point. Just make sure that you have to select the appropriate section because that is how the review points are structured. Once you do that, you can also add a new section. You can also delete any section or rename it, whatever you want to do. And this is how you can also add a new review point in Xenett. Now, as you're working in Xenett, and let's just say you got a question on any of the transaction and you wanted to ask your colleague about it, you can use this internal comment. You can tag people like, hey, what is this transaction? And then you can basically get feedback on any transaction. In fact, it's not just limited to transaction only. When you go to financial review, you can even ask question on any of the account as well. Like, let's just say cash on hand is negative balance, is showing negative balance, doesn't make sense. You can come here You can tag your people like, hey, what's going on? And you can ask questions. So rather than you having to do all this communication outside, while you are here, you can just initiate the communication right here. And all these comments that you ask will actually show up here inside this comments icon. No, not notification, this is notification, but this comments icon. This is where you can see all the comments that have been asked up in this particular client. And you can also see whether it is linked to a particular transaction or whether it is linked to a particular account. The another feature I wanted to highlight is as you're working on close or reviewing any of the account, if you really wanted to quickly search anything, you can use this smart search. Here you can search any transaction. You can type in vendor name, you can type in account name, you can type in reference number. The idea is that let's just say I wanted to quickly search transactions for dues and subscription. You just type in dues and subscription. That will give you a suggestion. Click on it. Now you will see all the transactions from dues and subscription. And then you found out that some of the transactions do not belong here. Let's just say these 3 transactions for Northwestern do not belong here. You can take you can select them. You can take appropriate action and then you can just fix it from here. So this smart search feature would be very, very handy as you're working through the close process. As you make any changes in Xenett, those changes will immediately be synced to your accounting system right away. But if you're making any changes side by side in your accounting system, Xenett may not know it real time. For that, you just have to press this sync button and that would pull the all these latest changes from your accounting system. Now, as you know that Xenett does create a previous month's close automatically, but let's just say if you wanted to create an additional close for any previous month or any like multiple months, this is how you can do that. You can click on new, click on close. You could just say, hey, I wanted to create a one-time close where you could then select a particular month, or you can select like multiple months as well, where let's just say you wanted to do the cleanup for entire January to December. You can also do that. You can click on continue, and that is how you can also create the custom close manually as well. Now, while navigating Xenett, in case if you guys are stuck anywhere, you can use our help feature. You can chat with us. You can also schedule a call with us. We also have an onboarding team. You can schedule a book call with us, and then we can also help you implement Xenett properly.